Yeah, y'all still listening to R. Kelly? Yeah. Ain't nobody in here but us, it's okay. No, it's funny, good. You know what I mean? It's Robert. Robert is a menace and he should be in prison. The craziest thing, a lot of comedians, they make fun of R. Kelly talking about he'll be in prison doing concerts. Matter of fact, the nigga's in prison doing concerts. And that's the craziest part. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think R. Kelly makes music for prisoners. Like, if I was in R. Kelly's prison, you know how nervous of an inmate I would be if my cellmate came back from an R. Kelly concert? Like, I'm chilling on the top bunk, he just walks in talking on something, I don't see nothing wrong. With a little bump and grind. I do, Tyrone, keep that shit on the bottom bunk. Me and security would be like this. Keep that shit down. Anytime I do comedy, I always like to bring up the fact that I am a teacher. I'm a teacher. I say I'm a teacher, thank you. These y'all kids, I'm trying to get them right. I teach 4th grade. One of my favorite events as a teacher is the very first parent-teachers conference. The reason I like the very first parent-teachers conference is because I get to see why your child is the way that they are when I meet you. And so I had one a few months ago. Well, last year, obviously. And it was me, a parent, and her son, James. So the parent comes in. James, he hasn't been doing great. He's been doing okay, but he hasn't been doing great. So the way we do, we run down the report card, and we talk about it. So she comes in, I go, hey, all right, we're going to run down the report card. Let's talk about what's going on. So I start with Jim. In Jim, James has an A in Jim. James looks up with a smile on his face. Mom looks at me. Mom looks at James. She goes, James, you know what that A stands for? James says, awesome. I knew right then and there this was about to be an interesting parent-teacher conference. Next, I'm going down, okay, yes, he has an A in music. Next we got a B in music. Mom looks at me, then Mom looks at James. James got a smile on his face because he got a B. Then Mom says, do you know what that B stands for? James looks up, he says, barely got an A. So I keep going. Next, we got science. All right, Mom looks at me, I go, Mom, James has a C in science. Mom looks at me. Mom looks at James. James looks up. James, you know what that C stands for? James looks up, he says, coulda got a B. And I was like, ooh, I can't wait to get to these last 2 classes. I couldn't wait. So next we got math. Math is obviously one of the most important subjects you could possibly be learning. Math, I look at the mom, I'm like, James, he has a D in math. He got a D. Now James don't look too happy. Mom looks at James, looks at me. James, do you know what that D stands for? He looks up, he said, damn near got a C. And I was just like, damn. I see why things are happening. All right. So we get to the last class. Now, I teach reading. I'm the ELA teacher. The last class is my class. So I'm like, okay, Mom, in my class in reading, which is very important, James has an F. I look down at James. James looking all sad. Eyes kind of glassy. Mom looks at James. Mom looks at me. She's like, James, what does that F stands for? What does that mean? He looks up, he's like, fuck that shit, I don't like reading. I don't like fucking reading. He walks out the whole classroom. I was like, see, that's why he got suspended last week for that shit. That. When it comes to teaching, us teachers, we got this phrase. The phrase is FTK. Now, FTK can stand for 2 things. Either stands for the kids or fuck them kids. Now, I got a poem I would like to share. Please snap it up for me. Snaps, please. Got a little poem I'd like to share. Now, this poem is titled FTK, and you can decide what it stands for. For the kids, fuck them kids. All right. Every day, I greet you with a smile. But you've been getting on my nerves for a while. We've been together since August, and the year is almost done. But you don't think school is for learning. You think school is for fun. I teach you play, but by the end of the day, do you know what I say? Fuck them kids. You make small problems big, and I get it. At home, that's probably what you do. But please understand, I can't do a damn thing about another student looking at you. Yes, one of my teacher slogans is FTK. But when R. Kelly says, fuck them kids, he means it in a different way. I teach you play, but by the end of the day, do you know what I say? Fuck them kids. I'm Marlon Harris, thank you.
But my body